السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري وأشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وارنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. فصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين. آمين والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين. We will continue, inshallah, with the permission of Allah, to study the story of Mary in the Quran from the chapter of Mary. And we started last week studying the story of the Mary from the section of Mary in the Quran. So today it's going to be the second week, and we studied up to verse 18. Now, what happened? Let's see so far. Now, Mary had secluded herself from the people. Somewhere in the east, we studied what the word east here signifies last week. And God says he has sent his spirit to appear before her in the form of a perfect man. So it is understood that the angel is employed to deliver the message to her. But this message was not the prophetic message as we know, the revelation to be announced to people, but the message from God letting her know that she is going to have a baby. So this person appeared before this angel, appeared. We emphasized on the importance of appearance to the eye of Mary. To be a man, which is really just to her expectations, but these expectations are normal human expectations without considering whether every expectation is to be or not within the limitations of this world. And also, this world is an interesting creation. We are given free will, and we are left free almost to choose from among different options. And we are also provided with the opportunity to make conscious choice and prefer what is right over what is wrong. So there are always two options in front of us waiting to be decided about and chosen one over the other. One is really true and supported by the evidence in the creation as well as in our human feelings, and again described by the guidance from God to teach these human feelings, which ones are right, which ones are wrong, and also we should be aware that we are created in such a way we will be given always a false option, and God helped human beings, which are the false ones and which are the right ones, just to guide human beings, of course, explaining the reason why. We are familiar from the story of Adam, and in the Quran says Adam was created. It means you and I are created in paradise. It means when we are Puritan, or Puritan. I don't know how it is pronounced exactly. Soul, as it was revealed to God, it is perfect. The description of the Quran says it took place in paradise. It means everything is perfect, nothing is wrong, and we cannot really make any mistake there unless we are grown up. Now, Adam with his wife, it means a real example of life presented there together with other people. We are created in paradise. It means in perfect creation. And then as we experience, we grow and we become aware that we have to make decisions. We apply this example presented to us in the Quran to our real life conditions. When we reach the age of puberty, it means to make a decision between right and wrong, to be able to make a decision between right and wrong after going through many experiences of this world. We now are familiar with what is going on in the world, and our consciousness reaches to the adulthood point that we make in between right and wrong. In order to end this option says, hey, you are free to benefit from my endless grace in the form of paradise. As we are here, we can use the whole universe as we want. But don't approach this tree. Tree means it is interesting to notice the beauty, the attractive side of this word, paradise, as described in the Quran, greenness. And greenness is, of course, out of the shades of trees and water or heads where the water flashes or gushes out. This is the description of paradise. So, tree demonstrates one of the beauty of this world that we are living here in the form of paradise, one of the beauty of trees of paradise. But we have to apply it to our real life conditions. We have to say that one of the beauty of this tree is what? What we love. Now, the subject is this. Mary saw the man, exactly fitting expectations of a man to get, but there is yet it makes a forest paradise. That she will say, okay, come, approach me. I love you. You are beautiful, handsome, etc. No. She says, it may be a tree which is prohibited to approach. That is interesting. Now, if it was an ugly man, it wouldn't be an option of, as it is presented to Adam in the example of the Quran in paradise, one part of the beauty of paradise. No, it is beautiful, exactly a part of the beauty we love. But we have to wait for the permission of the owner of this world. What does it mean? God said, okay, you can benefit from the world, but one tree, don't approach it. Why? It is interesting. We have to understand why there are some restrictions described in the Revelation that we can do this, but we shouldn't do that. Why? As if God is jealous of his creation? He is the omnipotent one, all-powerful one. He doesn't mind since he gave us freely the whole forest, endless. One tree, come on. But it is a very exciting example. When I approach each tree that I am going to benefit from, I remember, is it the tree got prohibited? The owner of the forest said, don't approach it. I said, no, not this one. Okay, I can benefit from it. What does it mean? Receiving the permission of the owner of the forest. With the permission of the owner of the forest, I am benefiting. Not because I want it, but only with the permission of the tree, of the forest. I am benefiting from it that I want, I love to benefit from. You see, any time we drink a glass of water, we say, is it the prohibited alcohol, intoxication, intoxicant alcohol, toxin alcohol? No, then I can drink it with the permission of the Creator. That is one tree out of endless forest is the only means of acknowledging the author, the owner of the whole forest in our practical life and reminding us that we are given everything free. But if we enjoy this beauty of this world, we have to acknowledge the real owner. We are not the real owner of anything, including our body, including one hair in our body. We cannot create it. It doesn't belong to us. Nothing essentially belongs to us. They are all gifts from the endless beauty of this world. What a beautiful way of training and reminding us who we are, who the owner of this world, the world's all creation is. Everybody should know their limits. I am the created one. In this world, everything is provided for me by someone else, not me at all. No one can claim that I created the earth for you. I created the sun, the stars, and the air, all the things we love to benefit from. No one can, although some ignorant people may say that the farmers are providing our provisions. They are not creating it. They are asking God to give them. God gives them. God creates them. They cannot create anything, any human being. So this consciousness is practiced in the life of Mary as well and presented to us in a beautiful way of scenario, presenting to us. They saying that the verse 18 says, she said, I seek refuge from you in the most merciful, expecting that you shouldn't touch me. If you are conscious of him, hey, don't come to me, don't force me. If you are conscious of God, I am already conscious of God. Why? I didn't have the permission from my creator to unite my life with you. Because the angel appeared to be in front of a perfect, handsome man. It's fitting to her desires. So she's aware that she must benefit from what she loves to get benefit only with the permission of the creator. The permission of the creator is or requires marriage contract. It means commitment by both sides of this unification. Commitment, promise. I am going to take care of your provisions. Then the wife will say, I'm going to take care of washings and laundry and cooking. No. I am to take care of our family life responsibility in the name of the one who created this universe and the one who created my desire for my opposite gender, and you also must have the same consciousness. This is called marriage act. In the language of the Quran, nikah. It is an essential matter. Making the nikah, not according to your tradition, but according to the acknowledgement of God over your body. How can you share your body, which is sacred for you, with another person? That is nikah. That is called in some cultures kitab. So that is signing the contract in the name of God, that I'm going to join my life with you in the name of the one who created my body and gave it to me as a trust. And are you aware that are you going to share your body, your sacred body for you? You don't want to really expose it to anyone you like. That is your human nature, requires the way you are created, requires you hide it. So Mary was perfectly aware of it. This very difficult, if you like, condition to decide to remember God at the peak of our desires. At the peak of our desires, that is important, because this desire for the opposite sex in the young ages is the most irresistible desire if we are not conscious of God, the owner of our body, the owner of our senses, especially the sense of chastity, which is at the highest level represented by Mary. There's a reason for it, because she is going to be the mother of a prophet who has to have a miracle in his beginning of life because he is going to fulfill the mission in a society where the remnants of religion still stays there, but the fundamental teaching of the revelation is neglected. Some of them are corrupt. So what he has to do, he has to revive the original form of this text, this revelation, which is called Torah, revelation, and revive the faith in God in its perfect form as God originally revealed to Moses, the prophet Moses. So his mission is very hard because people say, we already believe in Torah. We already are following Torah. We have the knowledge of Torah, but Jesus has to claim or declare his prophecy as soon as possible before going through the knowledge, experience of learning Torah. Otherwise, it won't be God's guidance, but it will be his own earning. So without going into the training of a rabbinic training, it means religious information about Torah remnants, he will declare his guidance, knowledge of Torah by just referring it to God's revelation to him. It is very hard, very hard. You can claim, I feel that you can claim oneness of God, unity of God against certain people who deny it because they have those people who deny the Creator have no proof, evidence at all. But for Jesus, it was more difficult to declare God's replacement of the corrupt text with the true text. It is very difficult to unlearn what you have learned and replace it with the true version of it, because you have some remnants of it. That's why those people like me, who were brought up in a society where people claim that they are Muslims, they are familiar with the Quran, but the society culture is mixed up with many other elements. Our job is harder than those people who deny God because they have no evidence. They cannot really come up with a strong claim saying that, no, there is no creator at all. Look at the universe. There is nothing happening. It is just the result of coincidences, random happenings. Well, there's no randomness. It's easy. Come on, man, don't be stupid and live with them. It is very easy. And declare that this universe must have a creator. It's very easy. But if a person said, I believe in God, I believe in the Quran, but we have to follow our ancestral traditions as well. How difficult it is to say that, no, you are wrong. Why? The Quran is in fact saying, no, you telling me this. Do you think you are more knowledgeable than your ancestors? They were great people, etc., etc. This is more complicated situation. So Jesus must be prepared before the people so that his birth starts witnessing the miraculous side of his life as prepared and created by God. So he will declare that, look, I am straight away created by God in a way that you are not accustomed with. My mother was a chaste woman. She passed the test, if you like, with the appearance of a perfect man of the angel to be a perfect man. And she refrained her emotions by remembering that her body is not her property. The owner of her body says, you can use it in this way. If you don't, you will be declared as disobedient to your creator, because while you are using your body, which is God's trust, you declared your ownership and use it as you liked. Now, how am I supposed to do as the real owner of my body likes? I have to use it while I'm using it in acknowledgement of the owner of the will of the owner of my body. I am being loyal to the trust which is given to me by my God, by my creator. So she said, I seek refuge from you in the most merciful, that you should approach me if you are conscious of him. So let's go. If you have any questions, any concern, please just go ahead. Now, here we go. Again. Verse 19, he said, now the angel is speaking, I am simply a messenger from your Lord, announcing to you the gift of a pure son. Oh man, come on, man, this is unbelievable. It is hard to believe. Why? We have never seen any example of it in the world, on the earth, that a man was born out of only mother without uniting her life with a man, other human being from the other gender, opposite gender. Of course, it is impossible to believe an ordinary man that will happen to him or her. For example, I will have a son without a wife, or my wife will have a son or daughter without a husband. A woman cannot have a child without combining her life with another man. Now, that's why the angel is speaking in a strange way. He says, it's interesting, I am here, a messenger from your Lord, the one who created you and your body, to announce to you the gift of a pure son, Gulaman Zekiya, perfect son. It means he will be on duty or employed on a duty to perform God's message and to receive and deliver God's message to others, pure son. He wouldn't add anything from his own knowledge, his own desires. But Mary doesn't know what's going on. And rightfully, she says, how can I have a son when no man has ever touched me and I haven't been unchaste? It means did something against the will of my creator. Of course, it is her right to ask this question. It is my right to ask a question if someone tells me like this. That is why God acknowledged that we should expect the things to happen within the conditions of the order of this universe. We should expect the things to happen in this way. It is quite human. Okay. We have to realize that although the order of the universe never changes, but the order itself is a witness that it has been established by an all-powerful creator with perfect qualities, absolute qualities. If we examine the universe, each and every part of the universe declares that I can come into existence only as a result of a one who can create the whole universe. And the way the universe is created obviously demonstrates that the universe must be created by a one who must have infinite, unlimited, absolute qualities. It is we are here. If anything happens in the universe, suspicious. Why? Because the creator of the universe usually never changes the words. We see he is creating something as it happens in or to prophets in the life of the prophets to demonstrate that who claims to be the God is employed by the owner of the universe, who is God. He is employed by God. Of course, the people will inevitably find it strange. How can I believe that this person is employed by God? And they need evidence. Of course, the evidence can only be demonstrated by the creator of the universe, as if saying that he has employed this person to be his messenger. So he changes the order of the universe because we all know that no one can change the order of the universe except its owner, the one who established the order. If the order is changed, it means it is the demonstration of the creator of the order telling that, look, I am witnessing the claim of this person as employed by me. Yeah, I am confirming it by changing the order of the universe. Now, what is happening to Mary is this, because she's going to give birth in the plan of the creator of the universe to a prophet. And this way of being born for the son will be a miracle for the prophet, not for Mary. So until the baby is born, we have to be careful here. Until the baby is born, Mary will not be able to demonstrate the miraculous creation. When the baby is born, as we see in the descriptions of the Quran, the baby takes over the miracle on himself. This miracle is for me. I am created by God in an accustomed way. You see, I can speak as soon as I am born. That is how my Creator enabled me to do so, in order to be a witness that I am going to be an employee of God to convey his message to you. That is how the wisdom of the teachings of everything is arranged in the Quran and presented to us. How about ourselves? What are we going to say? Yep. We have to understand that the owner of the universe can change his order. It is his design. He says, I'm not going to change it. And even the miracles are created within an order. They are given to the prophets only in order to fulfill a certain mission. And this is a part of the order. And demonstrating that only he can change it, he will do it as an owner of the universe, owner of the order of the universe. We have to understand it. So it should not, the continuation of the order of the universe without any kind of demonstration that this order is in the hands of not anybody of this world, but the creator of the universe. We have to experience that really God, the creator of the human race, must experience that the creator of the universe is not bound by the order he established. He can change it. Right? He's not bound by it. He has absolute freedom to do anything. The universe demonstrates that everything is arranged by a one who has absolute freedom, because the endless number of countless creatures are created in a different way. Every time their existence is changed in a different way. That is so shocking for us to see that, who is this doing that? This must be unlimited person, unlimited source doing all this. That is how it is so easy to understand after observing what is going on in this universe, that the owner of this universe must be an absolute being, cannot be describable within the conditions of this world, which is created, which needs to be given existence, which is dependent on the will, choice of someone else, something else. Everything says, I'm subject to the order. I am the slave of the order. I cannot get out of the order. No one can claim that we can get out of the order. No one. So the angel replies. He said, it will be so. Your Lord says, it is your Lord's choice. It is easy for me. Why? I am the one who established it, of course. So, and we will make him a sign, miraculous creation to people, yep, a mercy from God. Him is the Son. Now, the matter is already determined. It means that's God's will, and I am his angel. It means I am his messenger. I have to carry this message to you. I have no other option. So we understand that creation in the world is or takes place with the application, execution of the angels who are created for this mission. By God again. Why? the absolute being cannot be observable within a limited created form. So we cannot see that absolute being is manifesting his absoluteness through the creation. But the signs demonstrate that the source must be absolute, but the creation of the world, as we are experiencing it, is taking place within an order through the execution of created angels. Angels are not the creators. They are just receiving and the will of creator and turning the absolute quality of the creator into a created form, transformers. The absolute is transformed into a created form through the functioning of angels. So that's why the Quran describes that angels receive the commands of God and they never deceive the command. That is how they are created. They have no other option that they can do anything they want. That's why the angel is represented here as saying, this is God's decision, nothing to do with me, and God decided about it. I have to execute it. But I'm letting you know that it will be in an unaccustomed way of giving birth to a child. Now, there are various messages here. The function of angels and preparation of a prophet for an extremely difficult task. We know that in the life of Jesus, he had a very, very hard time. Yes, Prophet Muhammad also had a hard time, but at the beginning, but at the end, with the God's succor, help, he really overcame, with God's help, all the enemies and declared his independence, even independence of his whole community, in the form of an established institution, Medina administration. So Jesus wasn't that successful because his job was harder, because of this mixture of truth with reality. Whereas in the mission of the Prophet Muhammad, there was no mixture. There was a complete division, separation from right and wrong. One says this universe is the result of accidents, which has no evidence for it. The other one says this universe is the will of an absolute being, which everything declares. In fact, the social circumstances were very hard for the Prophet Muhammad, but the message was so easy to deliver. People resisted, yes, but the message was so obvious, clear, distinct. That's the Quran keeps saying this is a mubin message, distinct message, obvious that it is true. This way of presenting the Quran message was easy. No one could challenge against it. But they didn't want to submit to it. That is something else, but they couldn't come up with any evidence. From the content of the message is concerned, the mission of the Prophet Muhammad was comparatively much easier than the mission of Jesus. So Jesus needed more miracles to demonstrate to the people so that they will be convinced what he is saying. Although he was not officially or ordinary educated in an ordinary Torah teaching, he was correcting the already existing corrupt version of Torah and used in the hands of rabbis with their, maybe some rabbis may have good intention, but the sources they were using were not original ones. They are somehow affected by the historical, political, or other points, and somehow spoiled. So it is, you know that, it is more difficult. It is more difficult to repair a computer, very complicated computer, a part which is corrupt, than putting a new one, taking it out and then putting a new one. It is much easier, and as far as our real life conditions tell us, much cheaper. Because, I mean, correcting the corrupt parts, so complicated corrupt parts, is very difficult. That's why this correction of the misuse of the correct original text, Torah, was difficult. So the prophet who's appointed to this mission must be given a lot of miracles. We understand the reason, so that people say, look, this man, yes, at a very young age, without receiving any official formal Torah education, he is correcting the Torah where it was corrupt, and the other scholars of Torah are rejecting him. I mean, for an ordinary man, it will be very hard to follow whom. Here are the scholars, experts on Torah, and here is a young guy, has never been through any education. How can I take the word of this man, this young man? But miracles are or were necessary for those innocent people who had good intention. If they were convinced, they will listen to Jesus. So God's wisdom requires that he must be given a lot of miracles, and the people must observe it, witness it. So Agape writes, besides that, interpretation is very important because you can be misled by literal interpretation as well. Sometimes what we see these days, are you going to read something? Or I think the sentence seemed to be not complete. Yeah, I can guess from this comment. No, it is very difficult to correct a person who thinks he is right. And he's basing his argument on the same text as you are basing your argument on the same text. It is very hard, I admit that. And that's why the birth of Jesus had to be in a miraculous way, that the people should start thinking, or thinking that this person is an interesting way of being created here, and I have to watch out which kind of message he is going to deliver to me. The minds of the people must be ready for it. So any question, any comment? Otherwise, I will pass on to the following verse. No, I see no hands up or chat. Okay, verse 22. Mary conceived him, that God's will has been applied. So conceived him, and she isolated herself from him to a remote place. Now, why? Why? Oh, let me read verse 23 as well, so that we can analyze this interesting presentation in the verse versus how that strengthening should bring any guidance for us in our life now. 23, verse 23. And the pains of childbirth drove her to the trunk of a date palm. She said, would that I had died before this, and was a thing forgotten, utterly forgotten. Why she was so worried about what the people will say? Wasn't she sure that it is really from God? Yeah, but the problem is people wouldn't believe her. This teaches us very important thing, that very important message, that we have to take care of the people, the society's image of us, what they think of us. We cannot say that my heart is clean, I am obeying Islam, I am obeying my belief, my God's will, this is my religion, I don't care what other people say or think of me. No, that is not the way we are created. This is not the way that the Quran guides us to. We have to take care of what the people's image of me is. I have to take care. What does it mean? It doesn't mean that I have to change my life and adapt it to other people's life and just be in harmony with the rest of them and forget about my identity and just put myself into the melting pot of the society and disappear from my distinct identity. No, but it is human feelings that we are created with. If people has seen any suspicious activity in my life, any suspicious action in my life, which is against real human feeling, not corrupt human feeling. Real human feeling is chastity. Can you imagine? You are accused of being an unchaste person, man or woman, and you can easily walk into the streets of the place where you are and with no shame on you. Nowadays, what happened? That is a strange age. Shamelessness has become the mode of life, has become normal. It is the fashion now. I have my boyfriend, I have my girlfriend, whatever, and we are living in both. No one is ashamed of it. Why? Because the sense of nikah, it means family contract is completely chased away from the values of this society. As if a person commits himself to another person in the name of God, forget about name of God, in the name of human values, he is now presented, normalized, as a result of normalization, he is presented as if, no, are you really giving up your freedom? That is the norm of this society. That is why we don't feel ashamed of doing something against human nature. Chastity is really, really driven away from the values of this society. We should be very careful. Although the society has driven away the values of chastity, still the society has some sort of values that agrees with my human nature, the way I am created. So I have to be careful about it. But at the same time, I have to demonstrate that I am following the real, uncorrupt human nature, that I am married, this is my child, this is our child as a result of marriage contract. I have to demonstrate it, be proud of it, and be careful not to be carried away by the corrupt values of the corrupt civilizations. So we don't experience that. If somebody says, I am coming to your house with my boyfriend or girlfriend, we don't feel that, what? Are you uniting, sharing your private life with another person in your own name without asking the permission of the real owner of your body? Don't you really recognize that your body does not belong to you? It is completely freely given to you by your creator? And the people say, yes, I don't believe in God. They are not ashamed of it either. That is the society so much corrupt. We have to watch out. That is why, to me, it is more difficult to preserve your belief in God than, no, excuse me, just opposite, to preserve your chastity than to preserve your belief. You can nowadays claim your belief, declare your belief openly. People don't mind. But when it comes to the practice, especially about chastity, it is completely forgotten. That is why when you do something unchaste, no one blames you. There is no societal effect, impact on you. So you can do it without feeling shy, as Mary felt here in the example. That is important, that we have to take notice of this reality in our life, so that we shouldn't be carried away. Look, I'm doing it this way. No one blames me. So why should I follow Mary's example? But Mary's example is valid if you take notice of your real human nature as it is created by God. But if you take the values of the corrupt society, you can't do anything, because this is a free country. So as long as you don't, how do you say, conventional way of stealing, you can steal through using money market and, I don't know, Wall Street, they call it Wall Street casino tricks. You can steal people's money by tricking them, but as long as you don't physically take somebody's property out of his own pocket, his pocket, and then you are okay in this society. So if you don't really kill somebody openly, you are okay as long as you are not caught up by police. So this is the society. But in a society where people believe in God and where they are presented the commands of God, how to regulate, control our lives, for Mary, it was very difficult. So can you imagine a society? I hope it will happen one day. We don't see any sign of it nowadays. But in a believing society where people all have this God consciousness and act according to the will of God, can you come up and show yourself within the society with a pregnant, as a pregnant woman who is not married, non-married by anyone else, or no marriage contract? It is exactly, not almost, exactly impossible for an honest person to appear in the society because of human very natural chastity requires and necessitates it. So that's why she said in a very honest man, would that I had died before this and was a thing forgotten, utterly forgotten. But it would have, not because she preferred death, because of the pressure, impact of chasteness and being unchaste is so heavy to carry than death. No way. It is a very strong belief in one's true nature, therefore in God's will. It shows that, whoa, Mary was the, how do you say, the best example of chastity. That's why she is presented in God's speech to us as an example, as a perfect example of chastity in his speech and presented to us. Now we are really going through his story of life. So we understand, not because she didn't believe in God, because of the social impression about her. Chastity requires it, necessitates it. We have to take care of the true, correct thought of people about us. We have to take notice of it. Not in a way that if I don't, for example, join this materialist ideology, I will be sticked out and the people will blame me and look at me in a strange way. Or if I dress in such a way that the people will really look at me in a strange way. No, that is my belief. I have to preserve it, but at the same time, as far as the common values are concerned between me and the society, that I would agree with the society's values. For example, not stealing, correct, I should not steal. And I should be walking, I shouldn't be walking in the street as a thief. Because if I'm known as a thief, everybody will look at the strength. So I have to take care of it because because stealing is not according to human nature. It's against human nature. I have to respect it. So inshallah, we will continue the story next week, inshallah, if God wills, or God willing, that we are hoping that God will in this way, from the verse 24 onwards. Inshallah, I'll see you next Saturday, Monday, and next week, Wednesday at 5 o'clock, inshallah. Right 5. We start right 5, inshallah. So we'll try, unless there's something happened out of control, the class straight away starts at 5 o'clock. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. في أمان الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. وآخر دعوانا